Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to a weekly message from Jesus. I would like to thank all of you for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to be able to bring you God's words. I know our Father's here. We've been speaking with him, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Yes, it truly is an honor and a pleasure to be able to speak to all of you. I could do this in other ways, of course, because after all, I am God, but I think that it's far better to have my words brought to you in a manner like this than it is to have me have appeared to you in dreams or in other ways. So I do really want to thank all of you for tuning in. I know all of you that take the time out of your day to listen are good people, and I know most of you follow my words, but every once in a while people slip, and I expect that. There were times when I walked the earth that I think I probably did some things I shouldn't have done. Making mistakes is a normal thing. I expect humans to do it. I've told you this many times, and nothing has changed. Since I created humans, they've made mistakes, but they've made many good decisions as well. There's still people that don't believe in me. That's probably the worst decision that a soul can ever make. But those people, hopefully they'll learn. Humans do have the ability to learn. You wouldn't believe it sometimes by watching them. And for thousands of years, many of the humans have not learned. They haven't learned the lesson that following God is one of the simplest things that they can ever do. But I want to talk to you about a blessing that maybe you never considered. Have you ever thought of the fact that having good friends is a blessing? Having people that you can rely on, that you can talk to, that you can love. That's a blessing. You see, many blessings take place that you never really think about, that you don't understand. And that is really the way I want it. Your entire life, that is all blessings that are brought about by God. When you go for a walk in the woods, the trees, the animals, the birds, those are all blessings. So you see, when people say that there's no such thing as God, all they need to do is open their eyes. As I tell you quite often, all you have to do is look in the mirror. You will see one of the greatest blessings that ever walked the earth, a human being. From 2 cells, you get billions, and that human being is able to perform and do all of the things that you do. That being is able to do another very amazing thing. It can pray to me. When you pray to me, we hear your words and we try to influence and give you decisions and help you. We try to lead you, but we will never force you to do anything. As you know, if you listen, that's up to your free will. Free will, it's either the greatest thing that I ever gave you or the worst thing. If you use your free will to live a good life, you find happiness with it. If you live a life of evil and use your free will to make bad decisions, then you're not living a good life. You may think you are. Many people use illicit drugs. It takes them away from the reality of their life, and they think they're living a good life because they're ducking reality. But in truth, they're just shortening their lives, and they're taking time away where they could be helping others. They're taking time away where they could be doing all of the good things that I want you to do. Many people live great lives. They go out, they continuously help others. It's not necessary for them to be rich, as you know. Many of you that are listening to me, you don't have great wealth, but you do have the greatest wealth, which is the belief in me. You've laid the foundation of faith. You know you can rely on it. You know there's going to be times of pain, times of grief, all of the things that test humans. But because you have laid that foundation of faith, you have laid the pathway to light. to the light of which that soul will see when you return to heaven. Many people that don't believe in me, as you know, fear death. If they simply would believe, the oncoming day of their passing would not be such a thing that they fear. There are people out there that think that they can take their wealth with them. They refuse to use it to help others. They want to make as much as they can. Well, they will not take it with them. When you come to heaven, your soul comes, the energy, and you will not have pockets of money. You will not have gold and silver, all the things that you've collected that you think are of this great wealth. You see, the only great wealth that you have is your belief in me. When you have the greatest wealth, that belief, then things are so much better for you. If you have that belief, then you will pray to me and we will try to help you in life. We'll try to give you guidance. We'll try to do all of the things that you would like to have done. Many people don't pray, and then they're on their own. They make their own decisions. And if you do not have the guidance that I can give you, the angels, the spirits, all the good things that we can do for you, then you're often relying on an evil energy, and evil begets evil. If you do not follow the good words, the ones that I bring to you, the ones of helping others, of loving others, of being kind to children, showing children the way to me, if you do not do these things, then you are actually listening to evil energies. You may not even realize it. You see, evil energy it's very secretive. You may not even understand that it's there, but it's always present. It can affect your free will, and it can affect how you live your life. Evil energy and free will are a terrible, terrible combination. Many people know that combination. As I watch from over here, I'd look at it, and if I had a head, I would shake it, but I don't. I'm an energy. If I shook my head and really thought about it, I guess, I would say, why did I give them free will? They are not using it properly. They're actually using it to hurt others. I watch people hurt millions of people. The dictators, the evil leaders of the world. They're making decisions that are harming millions of people. And yes, there is a place over here for them. I speak of it almost every week. It's my lowest level. It's not hell. Put that out of your mind. Hell does not exist. There's no place of burning fire. That's something that the religion thought up in, probably 800 years after I died. It took them a little while, but they came up with it. I only spoke of heaven when I walked the earth. I told those that followed me that if you listen to me and do as I ask of you, notice I always said ask. I never said what I order you to do, because I don't do that. But I always said, if you do what I ask of you, live a good life and help others, then you will join me in heaven and you will enjoy the fruits of the greatest miracle that I've ever provided. I told them that heaven will pretty much be what they expect it to be, but you can never imagine the grandeur. And that's true for everyone. Even the smartest person has no idea what heaven is like, or where it is, or how it works. Only I understand that, because I'm the one that created it. But heaven is the most magnificent place, and that is where your soul goes when it passes from your body. And all souls will pass from your body. Death is the reward that I give you. That is the reward where I free you from the pain of life, from the grief, from all the things that are bothering you, the depressions. Because when your soul returns to heaven, all pain, all suffering is gone. Of course, all evil is gone as well. There's no evil in my heaven. There's many people that lead these terrible lives, and when they come in, they think they can lie. They think they can tell the guides about how they lived their life and of all the great things they did to serve me. But guess what? We know you're lying. There's only truth in heaven. Heaven, heaven, the greatest reward is only truth. Know this. Know that when you come to heaven, you have received the ultimate reward of God. Heaven is the ultimate blessing. When you live your human life, as I said earlier, you have all these blessings. And I guess many of you never considered them blessings, but everything good is pretty much a result of what I did, what I created for you. I knew a human life was going to be very difficult, so I made your planet beautiful. I gave you mountains, I gave you streams, oceans, birds, animals. I gave you all of the things that you can enjoy for free, simply going out into the fresh air, which is also a blessing. If you lived on the moon, you wouldn't have fresh air. Maybe that's why no one lives there, because the moon is not blessed. Your planet is totally blessed by me. By following the blessings that I have given to you, you can make all of the best decisions. You can know what needs to be done. You can simply look around and use your common sense. You see, common sense is something that I've given to everyone. Many humans have hidden it deeply within themselves and never use it. I've given you intelligence. I've given you common sense. I've given you all the blessings that you need to make the decisions that you need to make. And I've given you the ability to communicate with me. And that's one of your greatest blessings. And I'm referring to prayer. You don't have to get on your knees and crawl to me to pray to me. You can simply think of the words, have a conversation with me. You can have a conversation with my angels, my Holy Spirits that I've sent back to help through the years. When I walked the earth, I sent back many souls to help me. They were my disciples. I also had many followers. There are many of you listening who are probably followers of me, and I want to thank you for it. You won't understand truly what you did in your prior lives till you return, but then you'll know and you'll see that just how many times you served me. You'll know immediately on your passing whether you've done a good life, because my angels will be there to greet you. They will say, "Come with me. We are going to follow the pathway of light. We're going to this incredible place, to God's heaven." Everyone goes there. The most evil people in the world will go to heaven. They will not appreciate it, believe me, because they will be going into a place we do have reserved, a place of nothingness. That's the place we have for the truly evil, the ones that have killed millions, the ones that have hurt so many. But the whole thing that you do in this life, this whole thing that you live, that is dedicated to creating karmas. Karma is very real. When you harm someone, you create a negative karma. When you help someone, you do positive karmas. The ones that will probably have the greatest shock of their karmas are the individuals of great wealth, the ones with the huge mansions, the ones with the multiple yachts, because those are all items that cost money that could be used to help others. When you do this, when you make the choice not to help others, as I tell you many times, you will create future karmas for future lives. Those that have the greatest wealth and do not use it, they are the ones that will live in abject poverty in their future lives. That's the way it works. I hear in prayer all the time, "Father, please eliminate poverty." But sadly, poverty is a free will thing. If you use your free will not to help others with your wealth, well, then you have created that karma. You had an opportunity cost, they say in business. That cost is what you will do to your future lives if you don't follow my words. It's so simple. I'm not ever asking you to live in poverty. I want you to have a great life. I want you to have the fruits of your labors to enjoy what you worked for all of those years. But if you have something extra, help others. Everyone has time. I tell you this continuously. If you have time, volunteer. Go to shelters. Some of my greatest servants now do volunteer work. Many of them are dedicating their lives. If you listened Sunday morning, you heard Mother Teresa speak to you. She told of the life that she chose to live. Teresa was born in a life of wealth, but she chose poverty, the greatest poverty on the earth. She chose to live among the poorest of the poor in Calcutta, India. That is not a place you would like to go. And you may not believe this, but the lives that she helped in Calcutta in prior lives were some of the richest people that walked the earth, because that is their karma. They chose not to help others, to hurt others. So their future lives were not exactly what they were expecting. But I know all of you that are listening, all of you that take time every week, all of you that pass on my words, you are doing what I'm asking of you. You are truly, truly living the life that I want you to live. I know that many of you have great troubles, great problems in your lives. I wish that I could do more, but sadly, human lives are supposed to be for learning. Quite often, terrible things are part of what you must learn. Suffering, pain. In order for you to advance, you have to learn so many different things and to go through so many different problems. But those of you that are listening are strong people. You know what you have to do. You are standing up to the problems of life, of a human life, and those can be incredibly difficult. All I ask of you is to continue to do your best. That's all I can ask, doing your best. I tried to do my best in life. I lived a normal life for many, many years. And then for 3 years, I devoted it totally to my ministries. I spoke to you, I walked among you, and I spoke of words of faith. I said, if you live a good life, you will join me in heaven. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's what I said. I spoke very simply. If you're waiting for me in these shows that Barry brings you to tell you about the parables that I spoke, you're going to have a long wait because I spoke simply. I never spoke complicated words. I had several people that were very well educated, but the vast majority of the people that listened to me were the poor. In those days, there were no schools, no colleges, so the vast majority were uneducated. They could have never understood if I spoke the complicated words that you often read or write or hear in church today. Just keep in your mind the simplest message of all. Don't do anything to anyone you do not want done to yourself. Do what I ask of you. Live a good life. What could be better? The good life that you live brings you the happiness. The happiness that you will have that you think is so great, but you realize was nothing until you come to heaven. You will not fear death because you understand what I'm telling you. You know that death is what simply releases your soul to come home. There are many people that think death is the end, and that is very sad. Because when you die, quite often, for a while, whatever you expect will come to you. Those that don't believe in me quite often come to nothingness upon passing. They know that they still are seeing, they still are believing, they still are understanding that their soul is alive. But there's nothing there because they thought that death was nothing. Death is everything. Death is what releases the soul. Death is what brings you home. So don't fear death. Maybe you can go in and help people that are very senior in years and tell them that they are approaching the greatest day of their lives. There are many very lonely people out there. Speak to them. Go visit them. Call them on phones. Do what you can to help. You don't need great wealth to help others. A phone call, holding a door, helping people that are having trouble getting up. That's helping others. That's serving God. And serving God is the greatest thing that you can ever do. So thank you so much for everyone that listens. Thank you for those of you that are trying to spread the words and are doing what I want you to do. We'll be back again next week, and I'll have another message for you. Join my Holy Spirits on Sunday morning to hear their messages. They're pretty special. Teresa was really good last week. I've mentioned her. I'm giving her another shout out, so, as they say on earth. So thank you very much. I always bless each and every person that listens to my messages, to this show, to all the shows. So thank you. I am blessing all of you. Have an incredible week, and we will be back again next week with another message. Goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being who you are. I love seeing the comments. I thank all of you that leave them. They make us feel that we are truly reaching people, and I know we are. We got an email in Arabic. I don't even know what country it was from this week, but thank you so much. Goodbye. We'll be back again next week, and thank you so much for tuning in.